called President Buhari to order now. PDP tells National Peace Committee. Says President Buhari will not be the first president to be defeated in an election in Nigeria. And the PDP Campaign Council is also putting the Chief Justice of Nigeria on notice about happenings in our country. Gentlemen of the press, the PDP Presidential Campaign Organization alerts the National Peace Committee, the United Nations, and all world leaders to save our nation from imminent collapse by immediately calling on our dear President, President Muhammadu Buhari, to order if we must have a peaceful and violence-free general elections in February. We want the whole world to know that Nigeria is in a perilous time. President Muhammadu Buhari's desperation for self-succession has become the major threat to our national unity, stability, and peaceful electoral process. Having realized that Nigerians are rallying behind our candidate, Atiku Abubakar, as their next president, the Buhari Presidency is now seeking ways to enmesh the entire electoral process in a crisis. The Buhari Presidency has been overheating the polity with its unending manipulation of INEC, muzzling of free speech, and escalated clampdown on opposition and civil society organizations. And we insist that such must stop if, as he said in his own words, he desires a free, fair, and peaceful election. There can be no free and fair election with imminent in INEC. The PPCO insists that there is no way a peaceful election can be guaranteed when Nigerians across the board are living with anger over the foisting of Mr. Zakari, President Buhari's relation to head the collation of presidential election results. President Buhari's insistence on having his relation in charge of collation of presidential election results is completely provocative, a direct affront to the sensibilities of Nigerians, and an express invitation to crisis of epic proportion, which is capable of truncating the entire electoral process and derailing our hard-earned democracy. The world is aware that the majority of Nigerians have already rejected Mr. Zakari. Over 90% of the political parties in the election, as well as major political and social, yet President Buhari is insisting on her stay in the commission. Our party is aware of plots by the Buhari Presidency to use Amina Zakari, who has been mentioned as a part of those who have compromised election in the 2018 governorship election in Ekiti and Osun states, to plunge election in some states into controversies, truncate the flow of results, and even render election in some critical states inconclusive, to pave the way for allocation of fictitious votes to President Buhari and the APC. We want the National Peace Committee and the entire world to know that as long as Amina Zakari is in INEC, a peaceful election is not guaranteed, and this will not be definitely this will not be accepted by majority of Nigerians. The PPCO therefore calls on the National Peace Committee to immediately call Mr. President to order on the impropriety of having Amina Zakari in INEC, as well as insist on her removal, so that we can have a credible and very peaceful presidential election. Furthermore, the PPCO notes that peaceful election cannot be guaranteed as long as the Buhari Presidency continue to besiege, harass, intimidate, unleash violence, and provocative acts of totalitarianism against opposition figures and persons perceived to be against President Buhari's self-succession bid. The PPCO alerts the entire world, and particularly the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN in brackets, of the ongoing use of the police to clamp down on opposition figures, particularly members of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council and our spokespersons, on trumped-up criminal charges. Part of the plot is to charge such individuals before certain compromised judicial officials in various states who have been briefed to detain, silence, and put such opposition figures and CSO members out of circulation until the elections are concluded. Particular cases at hand are those of our Presidential Campaign Director on Civil Societies, Senator Dino Melaye, who is being handled for his outspokenness against the misrule of President Buhari, as well as civil rights activist CJN, who is widely believed to have been held down in prison because of his scathing criticism against the violations of the rights of Nigerians by the Buhari Presidency. The PPCO reports that Senator Dino Melaye had earlier alerted of plots by the police to arrest and poison him. His present ordeal, as well as those of the civil rights activists, the CJN, in the hands of the Buhari-led authorities, is incendiary in an election year, and we insist that no harm must come to them or any member of the opposition or CSOs before, during, and after the elections. The PPCO is aware that the aim is to use the state apparatus of power to attempt to instill fear in Nigerians, stifle free speech, cower opposition and CSO to silence so as to pave way for President Buhari's self-succession. This is a clear attempt to return our nation to the nightmares of 1984, when draconian leaders forcefully subjugated innocent Nigerians under the grips of military decree 2, and we urge the CJN to save our nation by insulating the judiciary from this ignoble scheme. However, the PPCO wants the Buhari Presidency to note that it is preposterous for anybody, no matter how highly placed, to think that our great party and presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, who enjoys the support of an overwhelming majority of Nigerians, can be subdued out of the political space in a country like Nigeria. Our heroes past fought against colonialism and won. Our modern heroes fought the military and gained today's democracy for our nation, so that every Nigerian can enjoy freedoms and rights as guaranteed in the 1999 Constitution as amended. Nigerians are therefore not ready to surrender these freedoms and rights to any neo-totalitarianist or allow anybody to suppress them in their own land. We therefore counsel President Buhari to tame his desperation for power. Our nation has had many presidents before President Buhari, and there will be many more after him. President Buhari will not be the first president to be defeated in an election. As such, he should not set our nation on fire just because he's feeling the air of rejection due to his incompetence and the gale of corruption in his administration. Our party is courageously going into this election in February with the support of the majority of Nigerians, and they are not ready to accept any result that does not reflect their already expressed wishes and aspirations. I thank you for coming.